Adrienne.
And we are with Junior League's Kids in the Kitchen. Today we are going to be making a really simple Cowboy Caviar. What we have in front of us are some really easy to find canned beans and tomatoes, bell peppers, red onions, cilantro, and then our little dressing ingredients will be olive oil, sugar, rice wine vinegar, and garlic powder.
And this Cowboy Caviar is a little bit different than some others where we have some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. Sometimes they use other types of beans, and this is a great way to incorporate some very healthy chickpeas.
Right, and a great way to do Meatless Mondays to make sure that you are still incorporating plenty of protein into your meals. So let's get started. I am going to start by chopping up our vegetables. Well, I guess they're technically considered fruits. I'm very passionate about the way that I cut my bell peppers, so that's what we're going to start with. So our bell peppers have all been washed. In order to make sure that we are using as much of the bell pepper as possible, I like to just chop off the top. And you'll see there are two little like white balls, or white sections. I'm just gonna pop out this stem, right here, and then pull out this little white ball with all of the seeds in it. If you're finicky about seeds or your kids are, feel free to just rinse this under the sink and then get out all those extra seed parts, but I found that this is the best way to use as much of the bell pepper as possible. I'm gonna cut it down the middle, I'll flatten it on the cutting board, I'll slice it, and then from the slices, I will go ahead and dice it.
Okay, so we're back. We just paused the video for a little bit just to dice some of our vegetables. We used half a onion, and we've diced our peppers and our cilantro. And Susie is just going to talk to you a little bit about the jalapeno pepper, and just to be careful with that with kids. And then while she's doing that, I'm going to make the sauce.
So when you're dealing with a jalapeno pepper or any type of spicy pepper, you need to practice seed safety, especially if you have little ones around, and just as importantly, if you're the one cutting it. I like to do the same thing that I do with my bell peppers. I'm gonna chop off the top, but I'm not gonna save this top because this has a lot of the seeds in it and a lot of like the seed root. So I'm going to discard that top, but I'm going to cut the jalapeno in half. Now you'll see it's going to be really easy to de-seed the jalapeno, but these seeds are super spicy. So not only do we want to avoid putting them in our salad, unless you like spice, but we also want to make sure that when we're touching it, we do not touch our eyes after. So I recommend scooping it out with a knife or a spoon, separating the jalapeno. I'm going to bring both halves of the jalapeno to the sink to rinse them out. I'm going to clear off my cutting board, and then I'm going to dice them. Before I dice them again, I will wash my hands so that I don't have any seed residue on them that'll later burn my face. All right, we're back. All of our vegetables are diced. Cilantro is done, all of our cans are open and drained, except for the rotel. We want to keep the juice in the rotel. And all of our ingredients for our dressing have been simmering, and they have all married together. You want to make sure that the sugar completely dissolves and the whole dressing cools down on your stove before you mix it in. So this part is the easy part.
Super easy.
Yeah, this is the part where the littler kids can really get involved because this is just dumping. So we're gonna put all of our peppers into a big mixing bowl. And you wanna make sure that it's big enough that it has enough room on the top that you can really get in there with a big wooden spoon and mix everything around.
and this is a great everyday kind of thing that you can do. You can also, what we're going to do later for the Quantum House is we're going to take this and we're going to make some quinoa, and we're going to just put with some salad and some tortilla chips, and it will make a whole meal. So you can either use this as an appetizer, or if you're, you can add some extra avocado, some lime, so you can be creative with it. So it's really fun.
And I like to think that the longer that it sits in the dressing, the better it gets. So this is absolutely a snack or a meal that you can put in the fridge and have for lunch the next day, probably for a couple of days.
Yeah, it just gets better. And you want to put the cilantro. I'll keep dumping the beans. Okay, we are almost done. This is so simple and really great to do with your kids.
And it does make a lot with just these ingredients.
Okay, so we're just going to mix it. So you can kind of see, can you see that? We're just mixing it, and it's gonna be so yummy. And our dressing is cooled, so we can pour that on.
And this definitely qualifies as one of those meals where you are eating the rainbow.
Okay, we're gonna put our dressing on and keep mixing.
Delightful. Now the recipe does recommend that you wait for this to marinate in the dressing for 1 hour before you eat it. But if you're hungry and this just smells too good to you, you don't need to wait. No rules in the kitchen, except for seed safety rules.
And that's it.
We hope you enjoy.
We'll show you a little close up, but yeah, always eat the rainbow, and that's a rainbow for sure.
Have a great day.
Bye.